All right. So, like I said, we are going to be bringing poets to the mic. And here's what I have to tell everyone when we bring poets up to the mic. Respect the mic. Okay, see the music's how they're loud and you know they like to be up front? Okay, poets are a little harder to hear, especially when you're talking. See, when you're talking, they can't hear the people up here talking. When I'm talking, it really doesn't matter. What I say up here doesn't matter except for Art Love Magic, artlovemagic.com, and donate to Art Love Magic. But when poets are up here, please relax, enjoy, reverence. If you need to have that conversation with your cousin baby Ray Ray who just got out of jail, take it outside. If you can't, for 15 minutes, give your ears and eyes to a poet, take it outside. DJ Night Nurse is out on the back porch, and she is absolutely amazing. Do go hear her spit if you haven't had a chance. Check out all the artists out here. But in the meantime, please, give your ears, eyes, and attention to some poetry. First up, on the poetry tip, let's hear it for Carrie. Carrie, what do you say? Want to give us a poem? Clap, 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 this far up the mic.
I fought many monsters in my time. Quiet warrior, they called me in my prime. Some of them tiny, some of them tall, but there's one I will remember most of all. He was the sneakiest monster I've ever known. His presence could chill you down to the bone. I thought I could beat him just like the others, and so I gathered a band of my brothers, and we marched together through the mountains and the snow. My army and I, we trudged along to face our unfortunate foe. And when we arrived, I puffed up my chest out loud and shouted, "My army is here, and we're going to take you strong and proud." But in this case, I was, unfortunately, wrong. For I turned around and saw that my army was long gone. And on that day, I learned one thing will always be true. Never bring an army to fight a monster meant for you. And so I turned back to him to fight him all alone and tried to look him in the eye, half hoping I would turn to stone. He was more than ready for me, and I, as ready as I'd ever be, tried every fighting move I knew. And we wrestled, we rassled, we thrashed, we stashed, we stabbed, we jabbed, we scowled, we disemboweled. We danced this wretched merengue to the bottom of the valley, but my every blow was countered, and I could no longer rally up the strength to fight, and it was much too late for flight. And so at last he knocked me down and out, and there I stayed. And in my darkest hour, all I could do was pray. Enticed I was by dreams of giving in and lying there to die. And then I heard a voice from a spirit in the sky. The voice spoke to me so softly I could barely hear. "This monster is unique. He won't surrender to your spear. You'll have to outsmart this one, for his strength over you is fear." And in that moment I snapped back into myself, abruptly sought. This battle I will have to win has yet to be fought. With all my strength I rose up slowly and looked him in the eyes, and almost without thinking, I threw my shield aside. As my heart was racing faster than I wanted to allow, he roared, "You fool! You have no chance to outlast me now!" With that I gave a small smile and cast my sword aside as well. And he bellowed, "Have you any last words before you reach the gates of hell?" I planted my feet firmly in the earth and rose anew. And I took a deep breath and shouted, "I'm not afraid of you." At this, he just laughed louder and took a step towards me, and then he stopped so suddenly we were both surprised. I could not believe my eyes. Up there rose from the earth to the sky a billow of smoke around him, and I began to see I didn't need an army to surround him. "I'm not afraid of you," I said with more confidence this time, and he visibly got weaker, no longer in his prime. He began to look worried, but I knew I had to hurry. I kept yelling my proclamation, and I felt myself grow stronger until the moment I knew I couldn't wait any longer, and finally I shouted, "I grow weary of this fight. And as I am winning, I think I should have the right. The second truth I've learned today is that I created you, and at any time I like, I can destroy you too. Away, flee, disappear, and leave me to my life." And then the glorious end to my long day of strife. The smoke started swirling, and he disappeared with one last cry. And then the storm clouds parted and the sun came out in the sky. And so I took my first free stride. These battle scars I shall wear with pride. If pride be a sin, then I'll be a sinner, but I fight to win, so I'll be a winner. Into that setting sun I shall go, but one last secret that I know is though the monster is defeated, he's not altogether gone. And he is not the only one, or the last one I will see. They're always after me. But that's okay, as long as I've got a life to give, I will keep up this fight with all the strength I've got to give. The time is now when I must confess. A quiet warrior is a warrior nonetheless. As long as I've got one more day, I will keep on keeping monsters at bay. As for now, this quiet warrior will be on her way.
That was Carrie. Give it up for Carrie one time. Like I said, chicks rule. Swear, chicks rule. That was amazing. Thank you. Feels good to get the paper out of your hand, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's freeing. Cool. Okay. So as I said, like I said, It's a Grind has us here every first Friday of the month. We'll be here next first Friday of the month. And they have an amazing, amazing staff. They work hard. If you haven't done so, please tip them. Please tip them. Please order something cool, something nice to drink. Check it out here. Like I said, they're open all the time. And the Meter Project pays baristas a living wage. I cannot tell you how important that is. This is a really cool place. We love this neighborhood. We love this coffee house. Thank you for supporting It's a Grind and Art Love Magic and artlovemagic.com. But as I was saying, because this place is so cool, they even have a barista who likes to perform. So hopefully she's out from behind the counter. I'm giving her a run. Get your ass out here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Valencia. Clap this girl to the mic. Clap this barista to the mic. Hi, baby.
Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? Alright, so I had a special request for today. And the only reason I'm doing this request is because it was her birthday on Tuesday. This needs to be her absolutely, her favorite song. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. It's Monica it's by Monica, sorry. And it's called Everything to Me. So I'm gonna do that song first and then I'm gonna do an original piece of my own. Boy, if you ever left my side, it'd be like taking the sun from the sky. I'd probably die without you in my life, 'cause I need you to shine your light. You're everything to me. The air that I breathe. Yes, you are the sun, so I see. Baby, you're everything to me. Yes, I can't repay you for all that you've done. Always come first and second to none. All the love you've given me is equal to 10. My peace, my joy, you are my strength. You're everything to me. Yes, the air that I breathe. Yes, you are, darling, the sun, so I see. Yes, you're everything to me. Closer? All right. Up close and personal. There we go. All right, I just recently wrote this piece. It's called When Darkness Falls. In one of those moods that I'm thinking I need to talk to someone, but I don't want to. It's almost to the point where guilt has become part of my name, and every time I hear it, the reminder is pain rich from this knife I claim is a tongue, but words from it to attack people like bullets with no name. In the darkness, I play instruments, tortured to the solitude of still rain. Soft sounds of pellet, clear liquid drops clashing onto the concrete of my frame. Just an extraordinary dame, misplaced in time and happens to have a talent for writing rhymes. I finally come to the conclusion that people don't really see me. It kind of takes me by surprise when I hear people want to be me. And I'm wondering, do you really want to view the world through 3D? I'm not sure if you're listening, but you hear me. Open up your ears so your mind can understand me more clearly. Sometimes I'm just fiending for a euphorically induced high just to touch the sky to see if I can kiss it. Tranced in space, waiting at heaven's gates for an eternity, working on my dedication to Christ and his missions. And when I was talking to him the other day, he told me it was just a season. It made me think about all the times I committed spiritual suicide. It was just as bad as treason. Death by starvation from his bread of life, cracked and dehydrated from years of not partaking communion and remembrance of him. Harboring unforgiveness and locking him outside the courts of my heart. I know he's waiting for me to give myself fully. The enemy's thoughts run through my mind, its weights throwing out balances and climbing the mountain I climb, racing up against time. Placing loose boulders, faking to be stable, but I am able to negate his traps. Like the assassins he sent to take my last breath. He didn't know I prayed for my family before I slept. And when I closed my eyes, they were kept. Thank you.
That is Valencia. Give it up one time for her, if you would, please. It's time for your featured poets of the evening. Our featured poet. I guess, thanks. Thanks for coming out. I got a split. Our featured poet, hosts, and is co-slam master of the Dallas Poetry Slam, held here every third Friday of the month, and every first